Okay, Tanya Vargo. Okay, so I'm here to talk to you about being authentic and going out in the world and being authentic in your authentic self, because even though if you're talking about the law of attraction and you're doing your affirmations and your prayers and you're coming from gratitude and you're in this positive space, you have to come from a place of authenticity, because if you're not, you're eventually going to hit a wall. You could go a long time and maybe, oh great, I'm just going to use money as an example, but it can be anything. It can be relationships, whatever. Money's just a little bit easier. So yay, I hit making 100,000 this year. Yay, I hit making 200. And then bam, 250 and 300. You spend 3 to 5 years stuck, never breaching that, seeing, people in your industry less time passing you by, and they're getting something that you're not getting and you can't figure it out. You're doing the work, you're doing what they're doing, maybe even double. And I can promise you there's something out of alignment, and a lot of times it's being authentic, right? And so you will be stuck in victim mode until you get back in alignment with yourself. And sometimes that can be a self-belief. A lot of the times that's what it is. Sometimes it could be something you need to go make amends with within some people around you, or something that you got to make amends with within yourself. And that's usually what it is, especially if you're a salesperson, because a lot of the times the amount of money you're making is based on how you feel and how you feel about yourself. Are you willing to make that next phone call? Are you willing to go to that networking event that night? Are you willing to put all the effort into that appointment or that next relationship? And sometimes, you can be standing there and kind of stuck, and you're not making that next move because there's something inside you that's not quite authentic. And you have to overcome it. For me, I had always been an athlete. I had always been first place at everything I had done. And, my high school times, I was like ate, slept, and drank drill team or dance team, whatever you want to call it. And so when I went on to try out for the Rangerettes, and I didn't make it that first year because my identity was completely with dance and this path that I had envisioned, and I didn't make it, I fell apart. I fell completely apart. And then that led to a whole bunch of self-fulfilling prophecies, right? A lot of things that I was told as a kid was, you don't make good decisions, and people can say that to you, but you have to buy it in. And that was something I hook, line, and sinker bought in. You don't make good decisions. So 6 to 8 weeks later, I'm pregnant with my daughter Rebecca. I started school that year in August of 95, or was it 90? Yeah, 95. And then I was pregnant, I guess, when I came back from spring. I got pregnant when I came back from spring break, right? So, and then then I became a statistic. And then that led to more, you don't make good decisions, and it just led to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And I was stuck there, and I had to work on it because it was a blockage. And then when people talk about blockages, that is what a blockage is. It's like the stuff inside of you that you've got to work through. You got to remove it, get over it, that kind of thing. Sometimes it's relationships with people in your life. So that was one of mine. Another blockage that I was having, even though I live out loud and post whatever on Facebook, it doesn't really bother me. a lot of the feedback I was getting was, you hide behind humor. You hide behind humor. That's your weapon. That's your weapon. It's your weapon. And I was like, ha, 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 you know, you got me, you got me, you got me on the side clown. A couple of people, you know, you go around and you kind of feel like you're invisible, right? Wearing Harry Potter's cloak of invisibility a lot of the time in the world, or at least I do. And all of a sudden when someone sees you, you're like, ooh, I need to examine that, you know? So I did, and a little bit. I was reflecting, you know, and then I was in a conversation with my good friend, Laura McCullough, and, you know, I was just having like the sister to sister talk, and I was like, yeah, so and so said this about me, and I don't understand where they're getting that, and why they didn't think that, you know, I would take stuff seriously or whatever. And she's like, because they don't know you. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like the most, you know, transparent person you know, right? And she's like, well, I mean, think of how you are in meetings. I'm the class clown in meetings, right? So maybe I was blocking myself, and maybe I wasn't being authentic because I was putting a different person in front of the knowledgeable, smart, businesswoman, headstrong mother that I am, you know? So that is me coming into the new year. That's why the jokes stop, y'all. So I'm coming in being more authentic. So you're going to see more about my kids, which I was always kind of afraid to put too much of my kids on there. You know, I'm not going to be the sad clown anymore. And, you know, I am perpetually positive, and I do learn my lessons. So here we go. This is me being authentic and not hiding behind humor. So, you know, if you're stuck in a blockage, you need to sit down and examine what you're doing, because it's going to be something. It won't matter if you're praying and you're saying affirmations and you have gratitude. If you're not in alignment and it's not authentic and there's a lie, like you're like, oh, I'm the best salesperson in the world. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. And that's really in you going, no, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Remember last week? You know, you got to get rid of it. You got to get rid of it. You got to work on it, and you got to figure it out.